so I gotta pay more because I'm fat. And I'm like, girl, get up out my face. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps, and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a what sold. Now this is definitely going to be like a weekly what sold. I did have a special request, and initially I was just like, absolutely not. But then I said, you know what, let me go ahead and do it. But I do want to disclaim this by, y'all will have seen some of these sales in a reseller vlog or a ship and shop video. So yeah, that was the main reason why I technically didn't want to do this type of video, because it's going to overlap my other videos. And yeah, anyways, but let's just jump in. So first we have this Mercari sale. This is all on February 3rd, so we're going to make sure we kind of time stamp it so y'all know what date the item sold on. But yeah, this one sold on Mercari, and this was a like one of those brands that is for like trans people. So if you were trying to kind of like hide the boobs and like, you know, slim them down, this is like a really good brand to look into. But yeah, that was a pretty good sale. The next one was this 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 top. Y'all saw it in the video. That one also sold. This 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 women's bundle set situation sold. I highly suggest picking up bundles and sets at the bins if they're in excellent condition, even if it's like a low tier brand. 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕂, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a low tier brand, but I feel like with the size being what it was, the fact that they were all like colorful, these were all kind of like brand new, it was worth the pickup. So I did price it pretty low. I didn't price it that high, because when it comes to bundles, I know that they're going to sell between like that $35 to $50 range. So I try to keep it in that window, and try to get like items that I wouldn't personally sell on their own individually. So I think that was a really good bundle. That one took under a month to sell, so that was a really good pickup. The next one was a 𝕃𝕂𝕂𝕂 piece. I had recently sourced that one flipped within a few days, so that was a good one. The next one is this Uniqlo women's pair of trousers. This is actually from a viewer. Hey girl, hey. And they're just like some wide leg pants. And then the next one and last sale from February 3rd was this Johnny O polo shirt. And again, for the third time, I'm telling y'all, I had literally sold a Johnny O sweater that day, and at the bins I saw this one and I picked it up. So it was like a really good thing. All right, so moving on to Tuesday, February 4th, was this really cute vintage skirt I picked up strictly off of style. Y'all know I be into my style-based pieces because of Reseller's Edge, so I like to pick them up. This one sold for my full asking price, which was a really good pickup. The next one is this Billabong set. Absolutely wouldn't recommend picking up this brand. However, I found it as a set and I said, you know what, let me see if I can sell it. I did go against the grain, because initially I was like, I'm going to sell it to a buy sell trade store, but I kind of didn't know how they would have felt, you know, with a sweater. So I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to risk it. I'll just list it myself, and I'll list it low. And thank God I did, because it did flip pretty quickly. All right, this Ralph Lauren top also sold on Mercari. This particular morning, I think I made like 4 sales or 3 sales. Yeah, it was a really good morning on Mercari, and that rarely happens. But anyways, this Ralph Lauren top, this one had like a nice little emblem to it, like a little logo at the chest, and I initially wanted to price it higher, but I had to consider that it was a size 6 and I just didn't want to sit on it that long. I've been noticing that my Ralph Lauren pieces aren't flipping as quickly as they used to. I'm sure the brand is just being oversaturated on the resale market, so I have to be really particular with what I pick up. This was perfect. I definitely used the right keywords for this, but it was more so just like preppy. That's the right keyword, is preppy, and maybe like equestrian or something like that. But yeah, this one sold for 20. They sent me an offer, I accepted it. This next one, I actually sold this exact brand before. Honestly, I don't know why I sold this one for the same price point, but I remember picking up this brand. It was in a like kimono robe. I think the other one was a maxi. That's probably why it went for almost the same price point. Anyways, so I picked it up, and I had noticed that I listed it and it got a lot of attention, and it flipped really quickly, literally like the same day. So I'm like, you know what, let me look into these like silk kimono robes. So I saw this one and it was the same brand. I got it super excited. I'm like, oh yeah, this one's gonna go well. I did you know, price it accordingly, and this particular person went and, you know, wanted the lowest that they could, and I went on and accepted it because $51 off of Ben's flip, you can't beat. And by the way, all of these items that I've showed y'all so far has been from the Goodwill outlet here in Dallas, Texas. So yeah, that's where I source all of my inventory. Literally like 98% is from the Goodwill outlet. The next thing that sold on February 4th was actually these 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 First Ascent men's pants. I actually hauled this for you guys, and I remember telling you that it had like over 100% sell-through rate. This one flipped within days, which we absolutely love. So this was a really good flip, and it sold for my full asking price. The next one was an item that I initially went back and forth with when I saw it at the Goodwill outlet, just because I'm like, it's Aerie, but I've been strategically picking up this brand as of late, and I've been making sure that it kind of like falls into a category of significance. This one not only was like a nice jumpsuit, but it was a size extra large. Now this one actually sold for my full asking price, I want to say within a day. So yeah, that was a really good flip, and I would 1000% pick it up again. I find that anything that's an Aerie or Ari, whatever you pronounce that, it flips well if it's a large and over. Now the smaller sizes will sell, but the item that you were trying to sell, it needs to be like a really good piece. And this one was a good piece matched with a good size, so it was going to go for a decent amount. The next one is actually this women's vintage like full zip sweater. When I saw this at the bins, this was more of a style-based pickup, so I plugged in all the right keywords. I knew that I had to market it to somebody that is, going to a cabin or like, in the ski area. So I made sure I, use those right words, and this one actually sold for $23. The next one is this We The Free top. Again, brands like this, when you can find a piece that's a large and over, it can warrant a little bit more money. This one was like a more current style piece. So yeah, this one was a pretty good flip. I think this one sold within maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, so this was not a bad turnaround. And that's the last thing to sell on Tuesday. The next thing to sell was actually this women's Halara pair of pants. Now I picked this up going against the grain. This is one of those like, it's literally like a step above like Shein. And what I find so odd about it, y'all, literally like 3 years ago, I found a dress, new with tags, from this brand. And at the time, the brand wasn't really like this super like fast fashion like, thing that it is now. And it sold for over $40. And I was shocked because I'm like, I think it only retailed for like $50. So maybe it had been popular, I don't know. But anyways, when I saw these, I'm like, okay, these kind of like match the vibe that people are going for now, which is like baggy wide leg, and they're wearing the baggy wide leg jeans. I personally like baggy wide leg jeans. I actually got some on right now. But the trousers are also a style as well. I'm not really sure if that one is still as popular as just like regular jeans, but these are a pair of like trouser, baggy denim pants. But I tried to kind of market to not only like the girls, but also to the older ladies with the word lag and look, because lag and look, I typically literally stick to mature items when I use that keyword, but I felt like this one could go either way, so I made sure I went with both. The next one is this Soma bra. Now I don't know, I think this was more of a style pickup. I don't typically pick up Soma. I think maybe years ago I used to pick up their bras, and they did sell. So I'm more mindful of things now. Like I feel like before you can just pick up something like, oh, this is a good brand, and it's like you can't source that way anymore. You have to have something else stacked above it, and it'll be great if it's like 2 or 3 things stacked above it, but this one only had one stackable feature, and it was a plus size. And oddly enough, I received a message, and I was like instantly rolling my eyes because I'm in the process of 2 returns on eBay, one of them blatantly lying, and I'm sure y'all gonna hear more about when I film a recap of February, because I'm sure it's gonna go a little bit further. And then the other one was just she didn't, she wasn't able to fit it. So I was already annoyed that that was happening literally the same day. So when I got a message from them from this Soma bra. I'm like, what is it? And she just went on to say she loved it. It's in excellent condition. It feels like it's brand new. And I'm just like, you are so appreciated. I'll have to pop it on the screen. I just felt so grateful and thankful because, like I tell y'all before, eBay is just not a place that I get good energy from. And if I wasn't a full-time reseller, I would 1000% get off the platform. But I gotta make my money. So these bad apples really do sour it for the batch for me. But a person like this was just so extremely kind, and it just kind of gave me the right energy and kind of boosted my mood, I'll be honest. So yeah, she's awesome. All right, so moving on to February 6th, which is a Wednesday. This is a smart wool like base layer. I literally sourced this and it sold like the next day for my full asking price. So that was actually a really good pickup. It didn't have any holes. What's so crazy, y'all, is that I have gravitated away from picking up these items with holes. I know that we all say that they can still sell because they are base layers. I personally, if it's like one little hole, no problem. But if we're talking multiple holes, no thank you. But this one was in excellent condition. Of course it had like, you know, lint and stuff on it, but that wasn't a problem. Pick this one up. Like I said, it flipped quick for my full asking price, which we love. This was actually a style-based pickup. Again, you know, I already knew the keywords that I was going to use when I picked it up, so I have them plugged into my listing. And this one, I want to say took maybe like 3 weeks, definitely under a month to sell, because I know I sourced this because I remember hauling it for y'all, and I'm like, Philosophy is a current brand, but this particular style of this skirt is giving very much so like 90s moody, you know. But I still picked it up because I knew I was going to be able to sell it. All right, so this is the very first thing that sold that was not from the Goodwill outlet. Y'all were actually with me in a reseller vlog where I picked this up. I checked very quick comps, and the soles that I saw were, you know, $100 or whatever. But those, when I went to sit down and actually look, because I do, which I guess it could be counterproductive to some, but when I'm at the Goodwill outlet, or when I'm shopping in general, because if I was at the outlet, I wouldn't even have to look into that. But with me being at a thrift store and them asking for $10, I just needed to make sure my $10 was going to be pushed out to something bigger. So I did check on the item or whatever, and I'm like, okay, this is selling for a good price point. I got home and I did a little bit more research, a little bit more comp checking, if you will, because I needed to verify the actual style of the item, because then when you get the style code of the item, you'll know exactly how much you can actually sell it for by plugging that into eBay. But I also plugged in the size and the fact that this was a like a petite, so that also kind of brought the value down, or possibly up, I'm not sure. But it sold immediately. She came in and sent me a $40 offer. I think I had it priced at like $68. Granted, I could have priced it higher, and I probably should have, but since we were in February, I just didn't want to run the risk of this having to sit, you know, for another couple of seasons. So I went on and countered at 50, because I'm like, that'll be my lowest, because at the end of the day, if I put 10 in, Poshmark take their 10, I made a good old, you know, $30 profit. So that's actually not bad at all. But anyways, so they sent me that offer, I countered, and then she went to ask me a question, which I find so odd. But she asked me a question like, oh, are these kid sizes or whatever? And I'm like, well, no, they're not kid sizes, because she was going off of the measurements. I provide flat lay measurements. I don't do like the circumference of the item. You got to do all of that, okay? You need to do a little bit of work, okay? But I told her no, refer to photo number like 4, I want to say, where it actually says that it's a women's 4, just because I just don't be wanting any type of issues where somebody is putting something off on me when all they have to do was look, you know. But anyways, that was a pretty good sale, very fast flip, and honestly, if I could find items like that at the thrift store often, I would 100% pick them up. The next one, I was actually happy that it finally sold, because I was going to pull it eventually. This was a Territory Ahead women's like shacket situation. I know that this brand, I think, is men's, if I'm not mistaken, but when I checked the size and then the measurements, I'm like, this kind of leans toward more of a women's. And it was like a floral, like 3D knit design. I initially had it close to like $50, and I know I was reaching, but I eventually brought the price down, because y'all know I do relist every single month. But I'm actually going to be transitioning out of that because I watched a call on the Reseller's Edge. So I'm just trying to see would things be a little bit different if I actually just don't sell similar at all, and just kind of like let it ride out and just kind of go from there, you know. But we'll see how that's gonna go. But yeah, this one sold for my full asking price once I relisted it. So yeah, pretty good pickup there. All right, another thing that sold was this Urban Outfitters women's sweater. I picked this up literally like 6 months ago, and I thought that it was gonna sell during, like, you know, fall. It didn't. Urban Outfitters is one of those brands where they make great pieces, and maybe I'm just picking up the wrong ones. I've definitely tried to narrow it down on what I'm picking up, the size, the style, and all the things, because I just knew this one was gonna fly out my closet because it was an extra large. It didn't. So yeah, I definitely had to plug in keywords for this because it kind of made sense. I feel like if you pick up any type of like wrap or surplus tops, you can definitely add, you know, ballet core or ballerina in it because that's kind of like their vibe. All right, so the next thing to sell on Wednesday was actually this JS Boutique women's like maxi dress. This was definitely a style-based pickup. I remember posting on my Instagram, like, if it wasn't for, you know, the Reseller's Edge University, I would have not picked this up. And I know y'all probably tired of me referencing them, but I'm letting y'all know, like, these style-based pieces, and y'all are gonna see more of them, is carrying my business like a little bit further than it was gonna go. So that's why I could not stop recommending it. Okay, I was about to mess that up, and I'm like, girl, let's follow it through. But yeah, great group. Anyways, pick this up. I did price it kind of high, but I knew the keywords that I was going to use, and those keywords definitely help sell it because JS Boutique is just not a brand that the girls are out there looking for. Okay, but that one flipped for 62. Looks like an offer that my like Poshmark bot sent them. They accepted it, so it was a really good flip. This one I was really happy for because I have picked up a bodysuit from this brand called Weissman, I want to say, and that one got a lot of attention. I kept getting a lot of low balls on it, and I was just like, no, this one can go between like 25 to 30. So I ended up finding this dress, and I was really happy because I'm like, okay, I know how I'm going to market this, and then I'm sure that they have a style code. I was able to find the style code and the stock photo, and I definitely think that helped it you know, sell. But that one sold for $30. And this one is on Depop. I hadn't had a Depop sale in like 3 weeks. I know, it's been a while, so I was happy when I got that. This one was a style-based pickup. I picked this up literally last year in March, and it finally sold. I used goblin core. I had just learned about that word way back then, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I kept getting like lowball offers on Mercari, so I never accepted those, but this one sold, I want to say, for $20. They're just showing like the payout, I want to say, because I did decide to do like shipping through pirate ship because it was cheaper. I no longer do that anymore just because of an issue that I had on Depop where I used pirate ship so they can get cheaper shipping, and then it backfired because they put and that the item never made it to them when tracking showed it made it to them. And the address she also gave me, I used the exact same address, and she said that the address was wrong. And I took a picture of the address she gave me and the address that I used, and they still said, oh, since you didn't use our labels, we can't do anything about it. So never again. So they just have to pay that. So buyers now have to pay $11 for just like 2-pound shipping, which is crazy. But you know, she ruined it for everybody. The next thing to sell on Thursday was this Lilly Pulitzer pair of women joggers. This one's kind of funny. So I received a message that somebody purchased my, you know, joggers full asking price on Mercari, and I was like, oh yes. Next thing I know, I woke up and I saw a cancellation request, and then I saw somebody purchase them on eBay, and I'm like, this has to be the same person, like, unless I just priced it too low and this is a hot commodity, I don't know. But I accepted the return request on, not return, but like cancellation request on Mercari, just because we all know that you get deemed on eBay if you know, cancel order. So I'm just like, it kind of worked out, but not the best in my favor because it sold for $38 on Mercari, and this one sold for $35. The fees on Mercari are much less, so it you know, I probably lost out on like $2 or $3, but that's fine. All right, this one shocked me because when I remember hauling this in a shipping shop, I was just like, I couldn't leave it behind. I have to get it. It's kind of like this open knit, it's linen, like it's giving the girls what they want. And for some reason, like I envision a nice handsome man in the summertime, maybe not really this summer, maybe this spring, on like the beach or something with it on, because it's not lightweight. It was a heavy knit like jacket situation, but it was open and it just looked really nice. So that one sold within like 2 days. So it was a great pickup. And the research that I did on this brand Structure, it actually was kind of like a sub line of Express. So moving forward, if I see that brand Structure, I'm gonna look into it, because I think it was a men's line of Express, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, the next thing to sell was actually this women's St. John's Bay top. I was shocked that this one sold, which I find so funny when I pick up these items that I, you know, provided factors for, and then they actually sell. And it's like, girl, that was the point, right? But this one sold within like a day from our full asking price. I know I didn't price it low, so I was really happy with the price that it sold for, because in the haul I was telling y'all I just hope that it can sell for, you know, $19, $20, but this one sold for my full asking price. And yeah, I wouldn't say go around picking up St. John's Bay, but if you get it from the bins, it's new with tags, it's plus size, it's a good style. You see all those factors? You literally have to have like 4 factors in order for it to actually sell. But yeah, super happy with that sale. The next one kind of surprised me. This one sold for my full asking price on Poshmark. This is a Urban Outfitters women's dress. This one was a linen like midi dress. I remember listing this more so like in October, and I knew that this one would have sold during that time, or I assumed, just because it was the colorway of more so like fall season versus like spring, but the linen kind of gave spring vibes, so I don't really know. But yeah, this was a really good pickup. Definitely would pick it up again. I have noticed that I try to stick to like those midi maxi dresses from Urban Outfitters, just because I know that those perform a little bit better. I have more luck selling those than the minis. I had to delist a lot of the minis out of my closet and sell to a buy sell trade store. So I feel like if it's a mini dress, it has to have other factors to it in order to pick it up, versus if it's a midi or maxi dress, you could kind of like lose a factor or two and it can still sell. All right, so the next thing to sell on February 7th was this men's Banana Republic sweater. I can tell by just the photo of this, I've had this for well over like 18 months, because I used to edit my very first photo to make it appear brighter, but it just messes up the color. Anyways, this was a really good piece. I really don't know why it took forever to sell. Maybe it was the size, I'm not sure, but it was a cable knit piece. Honestly, if I probably would have used like fisherman, cabin, and all of that, cottage, maybe it could have helped to sell. That's why I say keywords are so important. But yeah, 21, 23 is not bad at all. All right, so the next thing to sell was actually this Ann Taylor 100% silk skirt. Now, I kind of went against the grain by picking this up because it was a size 0, but I knew all the right keywords that I had planned on using, so I'm just kind of like, girl, I think this is still sellable. So I went on and grabbed it anyways. I received a like bundle comment. She was like, hey, could we take full advantage of like closet clear out if you drop it to the price that I had sent her? Because I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on my channel, but when Poshmark gave us the option to not give a discount on shipping, I immediately swiped it, okay? I'm not paying for shipping if I don't have to. So I took it off, but she was like, hey, if you can just send me the same offer or lower the price to the offer amount on closet clear out day, I'll go ahead and purchase it. I'm like, yes, you sure can have it. So it worked out mostly for both of us because I got the item to sell for the price point that I wanted it to sell for, and she got a discount on shipping. And the fact that this is a size 0, I was really chancing it. But the silk, the way that the style was, I just couldn't leave it behind. All right, so the next thing to sell on this particular day was this Serengeti. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Serengeti. Yeah, Serengeti. This sold on Depop. And I remember picking this up and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And I know I listed this like around September because this was more so like a fall based piece, and it didn't sell. But they sent me a $15 offer, and I had already had this item in my bin of things that are going to be delisted, so it just worked out perfectly that this one was saved from having to go back to the Goodwill. So yeah, that one sold for $15. The next one was these Eileen Fisher linen pants. What's so nice about this is that I remember hauling these and I'm like, oh, I plan on keeping these. I like the money, okay? Unless it's something super unique, that'll be the only time that I'm like, I just have to hold on to this. But these were just like some linen pants. They were a good size. I know that not a lot of Eileen Fisher goes for a good amount, and you have to be real strategic with how you not only price but what you are picking up. So this one was a large. These are wide leg. These are linen. It's a pull-on style. This one had all of the factors, and I knew that I was going to plug in like lagging look, coastal, beach, like those, you know, type of keywords to help pull in the right buyer. But these did sell for $30, which we love. This one is going to be a highlighted sale for this day, mainly because I was at the Goodwill outlet. I saw the like the tan colorway first, and I'm like, oh, this fabric is really nice. Let me look into the brand. The tag didn't look like it was worth it, in my opinion. But I picked them up anyways because I'm like, I'm sure I could at least flip these for like $19, $20. And I checked comps. The comps were looking okay, so I'm like, not bad. And then I saw the black pair and I'm like, even better, I'm gonna bundle them. So I bundled them at $45. I think I received like a $25 offer, and it's like, calm down. But thank God that they sent me the offer. The next person must have got a notification, and then they came in and bought it for that offer price of $36 on Poshmark. But yeah, I've been having amazing luck selling bundles just because I am a bins girly. But I do want to just say, because I know a lot of y'all be, you know, taking what I say as Bible, but y'all need to make sure y'all not only look into the item, but look into the brand, and just look into the style, and just know the seasonality of that item. And just make sure. These were performance pants. This is golf season. We're in the thick of peak golf season, as far as this is the best time to look for golfing and performance and get it listed now, okay? I actually live, literally, I can spit in the direction of a golfing course in my area, and they're out there, okay? They're out there constantly. So great time to list those golfing performance pieces. All right, the next day, February 8th, I feel like I got my days mixed up, y'all, because if I'm saying February 3rd to the 9th and this the 8th, this is on a Saturday. Yeah, I've been getting my days mixed up. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So the 8th is actually Saturday. The very first thing to sell was this Want Do women's down-filled puffer coat. I picked this up, and initially I was going to keep it for myself. It didn't have a hood, so it kind of didn't make sense for me to keep it, and I couldn't zip it up because my chest is too big. So I ended up listing it, and I did price it kind of high just because it was down-filled, and down-filled definitely does add a lot more value than like polyester filled. So I priced it, you know, on the lower end of $30, and this one actually sold for my full asking price, so we love that. This one was a Rock Revival men's t-shirt. Wow, I have XLL. Anyways, I remember picking this up, and I got home, and what's so crazy to me is that I pick up items. Thank you. Anyways, when I pick up items at the bins and then I get home and I am steaming it and the smoke gets released in my face, I'm like, ugh. So I instantly throw it in my pile of clothes, because what I end up doing with those items that smell like smoke, and this is actually, at this time anyways, this was maybe like the third item that I remember picking up that smelled like smoke. And I do believe it was probably the person that owned it. But I use vinegar, so when I wash the clothes, I put vinegar in the washing machine, and it comes out completely. But anyway, so they asked, can I do 12? I said, of course, because I had this one for a while. So I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of it. So yeah. The next one is actually this women's St. linen dress. I actually listed this at like the ending of summer, which is the worst time you can list summer pieces because people ain't even checking for summertime. But I listed it, and honestly, I feel like I could have got more than $22, but it was a size 4. I feel like smaller sizes just, they ain't the it girl. So I try to be mindful of that when I price it, and then when it's time to accept offers. This one was a style-based pickup. Again, shout out to the Reseller's Edge. This one, I picked this one up. I try to make sure that it was not Shein. And when I Google lens this one, a lot of like good brands popped up, like Reformation. I can't remember. It was like 2 other like really good brands have this, I don't want to say exact style, but it's very similar. And I almost was thinking that it was maybe one of those brands, but I knew that it wasn't, just because of the way the crochet lace looked on the brands versus the one that I had. So I did not want to just say, oh, this is very similar to Reformation, let's just say that it's Reformation. Absolutely not. Plugged in all the right keywords, and I think that actually helped it sell. This one did sell for my full asking price. So the girl was probably searching and mine just popped up. All right, the next one is this Aran sweater. I've actually had this one, I want to say since the summertime. I should not have listed it in the summertime, but you know, you live and you learn. This one, I think I sent them an offer. I think the bot sent them an offer, so they accepted it. So it wasn't Aran's Craft. Aran's Craft is probably the best type of Aran brand to pick up, but I knew that it was still sellable. This one, I was excited when I found. Even when I hauled it, I was just like geeking, because I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. And this one sold for the price point that I wanted it to sell for, which was $25. I still have the blue one, and honestly, I could have lotted them together just to kind of like maximize it, but I didn't. All right, so moving on to February 9th, this 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 dress sold. I had this one priced, I want to say at like $28. I planned on getting about $20 for it. I received an offer for like $12, and I'm like, girl, get up out my face. This person actually accepted the offer that my bot sent them, which we love. Again, 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 is one of those brands for me that I pick up, but I am very, 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 very specific with it. But it is a brand that I have realized as of late will be going to buy sell trade store, because it's still a great brand. It's just not that great on the secondhand market if it's not a good piece, you know. All right, so the next one was a pretty exciting sale. It was a Spanx The Perfect Pant. This one was a 1X, so I knew that I was going to price this one higher, which I always be cringing at when I be watching people's videos and they're like, oh yeah, this one was a larger size, so I added more to the price, and it's just like, so I got to pay more because I'm fat. But I get it, and it's really the supply and demand that we're looking at. It's not really because you fat. It's because not a lot of people are listing that size. So with it not being a lot on the secondhand market, I can kind of play with that price, because you could either go on Spanx website and pay $120, or you can go on the secondhand market and pay $70. But let's say this is a size small, probably would get about $40 for it, because a lot of smalls are available, you know. Anyways, the next one actually sold very quickly. I'm talking like 1 or 2 days. I sourced it, and when I saw it, I'm like, damn, I'm picking up a lot of size 14 in Universal Standard. Because I actually went back to go look in my closet to see, like, did you pick up another size like this? Oh yes, we got another sale, Poshmark. And I went and looked, and I'm like, wow, all of them that are listed are size 14s. But this one was a long, so I'm like, I think this one gonna do a little bit better. And it did. So I think I priced this one at 20. No, I didn't. I think I priced that at 28, and it sold for my full asking price. I can tell when it sells for my full asking price because I use a very strategic number, because I know that once it sends that 20% off offer, it hits a price point, and then if they counter, I know that I'm going to counter it to my lowest. So it's all a mind game for me when it comes to pricing, which I've gotten so good at, okay, might I add. Anyways, so that was a pretty good sale. The next one was this Free People top. I don't know why the hell I picked this up. I've actually slowed down picking up Free People, I know. So it has come to a point where when I do pick it up, if it's in excellent condition, it's going to automatically go to a buy sell trade store. I kind of want to phase out some things, like y'all will see it in a vlog, but your girl is switching a lot of things. All right, this next one was this icebreaker sweater jacket situation. This one is what I was telling y'all earlier, where I do not want to pick up anything that, even if it is a base layer, if it has holes in it. This one had quite a few holes in it, and the girls was like, oh, pick it up anyways, it still sells. I've had this one for over a year, okay? Would not recommend, would not pick it up. I noticed the amount of like, you know, views that it had on eBay. It was almost like 100 with like 2 watchers. And I get it. Why would I want to spend a decent amount of money for something with holes in it? But that's my logic. That's why I refuse to pick it up anymore. But it finally sold, thank God. This one was an 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊𝕂 Fleurite pajama set. I don't know if this sold to a viewer just because the video went live and then it sold later on that day. So I try to put 2 and 2 together and it came up to 4. So I don't know. But yeah, this is a pretty good sale. They bought it for my full asking price, which we love. So yeah, the next one is actually this Lafayette 148. Oh, we got another sale. I would say offer, but it was another sale. Anyways, this Lafayette 148 top, I picked this one up, and for some reason, that's why I like quiet the noise when people like, oh, this brand doesn't sell, this brand, you really got to take that with the tiniest grain of salt when somebody says something doesn't sell. Okay, I pick up this brand and it sells. Okay, and it sold for $28. But this was just a silk blouse. It was a size 12. It had a cow neck. Even somebody was saying cow necks are like not it. Anyways, so yeah, this is a really good pickup. I would pick it up again. That one, of course, had the factors. It was silk. It was a size 12. And that was pretty much it. I could just see a girly wearing that to work. All right, and the last thing to sell on Sunday was actually this Johnny Was jumpsuit. Again, this one sold for my full asking price. Did it? Yes, it did. I didn't price this one high just because I've noticed that Johnny Was has definitely taken a decline. Now, this was a jumpsuit, but I don't know, like it didn't have anything going for it. Like if this was like a floral print, I probably would have added $10 more. If it was like floral and linen or floral and silk, I would have added $10 more. If it was a size large and over, I probably would add $10 more. But I feel like I have gotten so good with the way that I strategically price that I try to get stuff in and out. And I do have a video talking about how I strategically price my items to sell amongst each platform. But anyways, this one sold for $38, which we love. And that is the last item that sold. I actually enjoy doing this video. I don't know if Editing Gloria is going to feel the same when it's time to plug in all of these nice little items to the screen, but Gloria right here sitting down right now enjoy doing this. Let me know in the comments. Wow, that just almost hurt my damn watch. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you would like to see it on my channel more frequently. If I get an overwhelming response, then I will. If not, we just gonna stick to the monthly recaps. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. And also, before you go, let me know down below what was your favorite sale so far of February, because you already know I'm nosy. But I'll see you on the next one. Bye.